Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drop and Give Me 20 with Phil Risden. I am Phil Risden, and please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and leave a 5-star comment and a nice little review if it's a podcast you're looking at or listening to on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Oh my gosh, how are you guys doing? Good? It's good to see all you wonderful faces. See all those wonderful earlobes if you're listening to it, and this, that, and the third. Sorry if you're getting this podcast a little bit late. I was supposed to shoot it last night, but I ended up leaving all my gear at Teatro Latea, which is where I was supposed to do a live podcast recording of my other podcast, Learning Things. But unfortunately, because of Hurricane Ida, all those plans got destroyed. So I got to go over there and pick up my equipment so I can keep giving you guys content that is as good as possible. Oh, my God, that hurricane, too. Jesus Christ, anybody. I don't know if anybody in here was living with it, dealing with it. Anybody watching this is in New York City, but it was not a joke whatsoever. I can't tell you. Like, it was ridiculous. Hurricane Ida, man, like, what did they said we were just going to get remnants, but I'm pretty sure we got the whole thing. It was bad. I was actually out there like doing like DoorDash and deliveries because I thought I was going to be making like really good money, and the money was okay, but it was not worth what I went through. I mean, Jesus Christ. There was some intersections where the water was almost waist high. It was really bad. I ended up like giving up on deliveries at like 9:30, and I didn't get home till about 11. That's how extremely, extremely terrible it is. And good news here for you folks. We should be expecting those types of catastrophes at least once every 2 to 3 years now because of climate change. Isn't that great? Isn't that fun? I'm not excited about that. I was thinking about that the other day where it's just like, yeah, we're just going to have to get used to like extreme weather happening. All right, guys, I'm back again. First interruption was because of a delivery guy dropped me off something. And then second time was just my cat running around this place nonstop. I don't know what to do with my cat, honestly. I love him to death. But he just, sometimes, it's like he knows exactly when I'm going to start doing something like this. And then he just goes ape shit and starts running all over the room, being mad loud and shit. Like, I don't know what to do. Yes, I buy him toys. Yes, I do show him love all the time. I show him plenty of, affection and attention and all that shit. All right. I mean, listen, I mostly work from home or, do whatever this shit it is that I do to like put money together. So I'm home all the time. He's not getting neglected. I don't know why. He's an asshole. Okay. I need to figure something else out about that. But yes, we were talking about global warming. And how this shit's going to be happening all the time. Get ready, baby. Get ready. I mean, listen, after this one, I decided I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to lean into it. Next time this happens, I'm buying a goddamn surfboard. Okay, people? I don't care. I'm out there surfing the goddamn waves. Dude, there was a tide in the street. There was a tide. It was bad, man. It was bad. This world's going to shit. We're dealing with a lot of different things. One good piece of justice did happen, though. Old Joe Rogan got the Rona. God damn it. Oh my God. Listen, if he was doing severely, I wouldn't be like poking fun or anything like that. But Jesus Christ, it is so vindicating to have a guy like that almost die. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the worst part is that like he goes on Instagram, tells everybody like, hey, I got it. Da, da, da. He's like, we threw the kitchen sink at it. We threw, this, we threw that, it's like, don't throw the kitchen sink at it. Throw the fucking vaccine at it. Jesus, that's all you've needed to do, okay? As soon as you're okay, go get the goddamn vaccine, man. I don't know, what is your problem? Like, and it's just like, people listen to him for shit. That's the whole part. Like, I get it. Like, yes, he's just like a dumb dude who says like stupid shit. And, I, as that demographic myself, I understand where he comes from when people were biting his head off about the goddamn vaccine and just being like, oh, well, if Joe Rogan says it, like he's a fucking asshole. Don't believe him. And, and he agreed to that. He was like, listen, I'm not a medical expert in any way. But dude, he has a massive massive following, and those people are all fucking like weird conspiracy theory people. They're all fucking like just weirdos in general who don't listen to any medical research or any government entity whatsoever, and they listen to him, you know? So how about you stop telling them to put fucking horse dewormer in their veins and tell them to go to a fucking hospital, you know, and get a vaccine, or just don't. Just either go get the vaccine or mask up and just, you know, stay regular and get tested, all right? But don't put horse fucking medicine into your body, all right? It's not that serious, man. I mean, like, well, it is that serious. It's a very dire situation, but it's just like, it's not, there's no reason for you to be so dumb, okay? Listen, we've all dabbled in a little bit of animal medicine before, all right? We've taken a couple, you know, doggy quaaludes in our day, haven't we, folks? We've all gone there. But Jesus, man, horse dewormer, what are you doing? What are you doing? You might as well put, what were they saying with the other one? Bleach? Yeah, you might as well just put bleach in your fucking veins. 409, all that other shit. You know, Fabuloso in your veins. Fuck it. Is that the new cure? That's how we're gonna cure ourselves? Let's go with it. Fabuloso. I'm down for it. I'm into it, man. Yeah, dude, I just couldn't believe that he was that shitty and like dumb. Like, you're endangering like a lot of people with this shit, you know? But I get it though. He like, you know, first off, I am somebody who has listened to Joe Rogan's podcast quite a few times. You can look into my YouTube algorithm and you'll see a couple of his clips in there. I'm not, you know, shitting on the guy too much. Sometimes what he says is actually like right and I fuck with it, you know what I mean? But yeah, when it comes to medical shit, do not trust this dude. You know what it is? Because he's just like he's a white dude with unchecked power. That's why you can't listen to him for everything. For some things, for light things, for regular things. You want to talk about aliens? Fucking call that guy. But when it comes to the medical field and shit, you can't listen to a fucking dude who's just been podcasting and now owns the world. You know? It's the same thing with Kanye. It's like we can listen to Kanye for music advice. We can listen to him for music advice. We can listen to him for fashion advice. Shit, maybe even for like slight like life advice, you know? But you cannot listen to Kanye for political advice. All right? Joe Rogan and Kanye are actually a lot more comparable if you actually think about it. Because both of them came from nothing. Both of them are tremendous in their field. And both of them constantly have naysayers give them shit, but they also have this huge other alternative following that doesn't give a shit what any of these naysayers say, you know, like everybody was perplexed about fucking Kanye and the whole like Trump hat when he was rocking the Make America Great Again hat and everything, but it's like, should you really? Like, you shouldn't be surprised that he's doing this at all. Kanye West is the king of the double down. You know, he started music back when he was wearing polo shirts and everybody was wearing baggy shit. Everybody was clowning him, calling him gay, calling him soft, saying his music was lame, all that shit. But he said, fuck you, I'm doubling down, and he stayed with it, and now look where he is. That's why he just goes unchecked this whole time, because like, even if you try to check him, he's immune to it, because he's like, everybody's been trying to check me my whole entire life, and every single time I've made a call and stood by that shit, I've been right. So I'm going to put this hat on and see where this goes. The last, you know, when he put the hat on, you know, he definitely wasn't right, but but it makes sense why he thought maybe he could be, you know. So I don't know, man. Same goes for Joe Rogan. He goes from fucking just being some like random road dog comic to doing fucking Fear Factor and shit like that. You know, he's like this douchey guy. He's like big burly guy, you know. The alt scene of comedy is all like super soft and shit, and there's like, we don't like you, and he still made it. He's made it so far that all of those liberal people still want to be on his podcast. You know, I think correct me if I'm wrong, but Joe Rogan is the Kanye West of comedy. I said it right here. It comes right here. Fresh from the mouth of a genius. All right. Joe Rogan is the Kanye West of comedy. All right. And I don't know what that makes me. The Big Sean? I have no idea. We'll see where it takes me. We'll see where life takes me, man. It's crazy, dude. Like there's just been, I can't believe it. I can't believe he finally got corona, and it's wild too. I was just watching the news, and like it's like he's not the only host who's had it now. He like in recent weeks, there's been a slew of conservative radio hosts who have been saying like anti-mask type stuff, anti-vaxxer type stuff, and they all died. So he's the only one who's still living. Which to his point, he was saying like, hey, if you're somebody who eats well, who exercises a lot, takes care of themselves, you might not have to worry. Maybe there is something to that. I wouldn't argue that. Better baseline health, definitely makes you more likely to get through any ailment you probably have, I would say. But yeah, he's the only one. Maybe also too, maybe he's more libertarian, and they're like straight up conservative. So maybe that's what saved him. Maybe God is trying to balance out the scales right now because all these GOP assholes are fucking up shit with this goddamn Texas abortion. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to this whole abortion thing in Texas. Yeah, if you're south of the border, which is what I call any state under Philadelphia. All right, any state under Pennsylvania is south of the border. If you're south of the border, don't get anybody pregnant. Don't get anybody pregnant. Don't you leave that dick in there. Don't you take it out. Take it out. Because Texas, man, they're going ape shit with these abortion things right now. I heard it's supposed to be like your abortions are illegal in Texas once a ultrasound technician or a doctor can see a heartbeat, which is super. If people don't know about like abortions and pregnancy, that's like super early in the pregnancy scale. Like that's like basically like 6 to 8 weeks within a pregnancy. And the harsh thing about that, what's really messed up about that, is that 6 to 8 weeks is kind of when a lot of women even find out that they are pregnant. So imagine if you think you might be pregnant, you go to the doctor, they tell you there's a heartbeat. Now you can't even abort the baby, and it hurts for a lot of it hurts for a lot of societal reasons. Just as people, women should be able to do what they want with their bodies, especially in medical terms, like fuck off, But this also like it messes with a lot of things, man. This could even like mess into the economy, and I think that's really the whole thing, that the GOP is so against this whole like abortion stuff. It's not really. I think they cloak it through Christianity, but it's not really that. It's to keep the lower class constantly in the lower class. They want to punish people for having children, because something tells me, if a rich person gets pregnant, they're not going to make their daughter have that baby. They're going to go to whatever high-class doctor can do it on the hush-hush, or go to some place in another state and get it done and fix that shit. You know what I mean? What it really hurts is the poor people, the poor young girls who get pregnant at like 14, 15, and now this dictates their whole entire life. Now their life is completely fucking changed. Maybe they were wild when they were a young teenager, 14, 15, 16 years old. Shit, we'll even go 20. You know what I mean? You're over an adult age, but you're still incredibly young and you're still just a child at the end of the day. Maybe these people, maybe they were wilding at that time, but if they didn't have a baby, they would have got to, the age 22 and they would have decided to go back to school or take school seriously. Jesus Christ, there's something in my eye and I cannot get it out. It's killing me, people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're looking at this. I'm going to have to act like I ignore it. But yes, maybe they would have decided to go back to school. Maybe they would have found their own career path. But now because they have a baby and they have to spend hours and hours and hours of the day dealing with this baby now, taking care of this baby, especially in the newborn months, that completely knocks everything, out of sight, especially money-wise, too, for a lot of these people. I think a lot of the abortion ban is just to keep poor people poorer so they stay in the workforce. I mean, now we have this massive wage gap, and I think more with entrepreneurship and as people find, their own path, I think more of a middle class will arise, and stuff like that. But right now, a big thing is just, there's the poor and the affluent, the haves and the have-nots, and I think that's kind of a designed plan by a lot of GOP people is to keep people in their same station. You know what I mean? Because as the middle class diminishes and the lower class rises, that's their workforce. That's the Amazon workers. These are the, FedEx workers who work for 15 hours, $15 an hour. Those are those people. And that's what getting all these abortion bans and abortion laws are going to do. It's going to basically, if any poor person makes a mistake at a young age, they're going to be sentenced to semi-slave labor for $10 an hour, working for fucking Amazon or whatever fucking shitty company, that they're going to be forced to work for. And anybody who wants to get out of that situation is going to take 10 times more effort than any regular ass person who's either upper middle class or upper class. And that's just how the fuck it is. Sucks. It just sucks. It just really fucking sucks, man. It really fucking sucks. But, there is some justice out there. I think in most places that have some sort of abortion law that's like really fucked up, they are stalling appeals. They're not stalling it in Texas, which is very sad. But in a couple other states, they are. And, I mean, there's other people, who are seeking justice, not abortion related, but Perdue, the makers of Oxycontin. I always called it Oxycontin, but it's called like Oxycontin. There's like an N after that O. Oxycontin. The people who make that drug are actually having a settlement that's going to pay, was it $4 billion or $44 billion? An extreme amount of money. Not extreme for the company because they made so much money off of that drug. But it is a lot of money going to the families of people who have had deaths in this stuff. They finally got taken to task and found guilty of doing these things, or not necessarily guilty because it's a settlement. So I don't know how, but they basically acknowledged like, hey, we're sorry for your loss, and here you go. So now most of the people of those victims, like most of the family of those victims, are either going to get $3,500 to $48,000 a month, possibly, which is great. It doesn't bring back the people that they miss, but it does help, and it's nice to see a bunch of rich motherfuckers just getting a knife in the gut. Just a little bit, It's still not enough, though, because it's like it's supposed to be a bankruptcy trial or some shit like that, they were saying, and that doesn't even close to bankrupt this company. I think all it's really going to do is they're just going to be like, I look at Perdue almost like Coca-Cola, They're just going to come out with new Coke now, new Oxycontin, which is like slightly less addictive. And if you do get addicted, it's your fault, Jesus Christ. And also too, I think about what would have happened if God damn it, I wish the crack epidemic could have had a settlement. That would have been nice. Jesus Christ. Still 400 years too late. No goddamn reparations, Can you imagine if the crack epidemic had a settlement? Everybody would be, throwing investments into Popeye's chicken sandwiches. It'd be glorious. It'd be a great day. I'd love it, man. One of these days we'll figure something out. It's fucking crazy, man. I'm happy they got taken to task a little bit, but at the same time, all this stuff, it's just not gonna, a lot of things are coming to a head, man. With these companies, I think they got to figure some things out for real. They really have to, we have to start taking people to task. We got to start really, airing our grievances with all these companies. And that's why I think, too, it's I think that's why the Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson stuff is so tough. I think a lot of people don't want to take these vaccines because of shit like Perdue and even Pfizer and stuff. They've made other drugs, I'm sure, that get people sick and stuff, or the medical market in general is insidious and it's fucked up, but I would say specifically take these vaccines only because this time it's life and death. And all these companies, including the medical companies, do not want you to die because they want you to take their drugs. They want you to consume their goods. They want you to eat their foods. They want you to drink their soft drinks, do whatever. And if you're dead, you can't do that. So I think it's pretty safe to say that these vaccines are safe because they want to keep you alive. This took a very serious turn in the show. I didn't really get to talk about too much. I hope there was a lot of laughs in there. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. But I love you. I think this is going to be the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening to Drop and Give Me 20 with Phil Riston. I am Phil Riston. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and give a nice 5-star review, and give a nice little comment if you're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.